All right, thank you for coming on this absolutely terrible day, but actually it's an enjoyable day. The essence of life is water, and in the village of Mamaroneck, there's a blessing and concerns, obviously, that we have here. It has to do with the reason we're here is my announcement for my intentions in the November election. It's been 8 years since myself and Lucy Antero announced our intention to run for the positions of mayor and trustee. Our platform was and continues to be a very simple philosophy: public service, not politics. We have faithfully followed this credo, which we believe has worked for the benefit of all who live, work, and visit our amazing, friendly village of Mamaroneck. The continued effort has resulted in the overwhelmingly positive reputation of the village and recognition as a destination community by several national publications, including but not limited to CNN Money Magazine and various real estate community ratings. In significant part, our successes must be credited to what I believe the VOM's greatest asset, our volunteers. The spectrum of our volunteers is broad-based, but to name a few to illustrate the benefits achieved by working together are first, our all-volunteer fire department, the largest of our groups who continuously offers all to the aspects of the village's health, safety, and welfare of fire protection, as well as an economic benefit and an annual savings of millions of tax dollars annually. Another example is the Harbor Island Conservancy, which is a group of private residents that contribute their time and dollars to the incredible improvement of Harbor Island Park. The accomplishments of this group are easily visible with the new children's playgrounds in the heart of the park and also on Rushmore Avenue. The new coordinated park signs, the entrance to the park, including the booth and great gazebo, as well as the walkways off the Boston Post Road, all coordinated of effort with our newly formed Parks Department that certainly helped Harbor Island Park being recognized as the #1 park in Westchester County. The volunteers include all land use boards, as well as advisory boards and commissions covering recreation, environment, flooding, proposed redevelopment, and all aspects of life in the village of Mamaroneck. I note these volunteers in relation to my basic philosophy of public service, not politics, and the opportunity to serve the village of Mamaroneck in seeking continuous improvement of the village's quality of life. The public service credo includes the successes during the past 8 years by partnering with the residents of the village, resulting in that very increased quality of life, which in small part may be noted by our initial settling of the numerous lawsuits and eliminating potential loss of millions of tax dollars. The increased practice of the democratic process by opening the Board of Trustees meetings and the democratic ability for people to make comments during the agenda on all items, not before and after was previously done. I would also note that we restructured the village attorney's office from full-time to part-time. We also limited the annual tax increase by staying within 2% tax cap and the establishment of a new Parks Department. Respectful negotiations with both the CSEA and the PBA for labor contracts, increased recreation programs, village block parties, the establishment of our Marine Education Center, and most important, I am proud of leading the effort to improve our environment with such legislation as the ban of certain plastic bags and giving voice to the voiceless, which I am most proud of, which is the New York State precedent-setting legislation banning the sale of commercially bred cats and dogs. Legislation, I note, that has been subsequently enacted by numerous local municipalities and actually states throughout the United States. I take particular pride in championing the Army Corps of Engineers flood mitigation project that addresses a decades-old problem and a threat to the village of Mamaroneck's future, which our proposed plan has most recently been accepted by the Army Corps of Engineers and now will be seeking funding for the next engineering and construction phases. There have been, however, recent actions by the current majority of the Board of Trustees that changed the very structure of the village of Mamaroneck positions and powers of the Mayor and Board of Trustees. These actions, in my opinion, belie the very concept which I have been fortunate to experience during the past 8 years dedicated to the best operation and future of the village. That being the politically biased exercise of personal petty politics versus the ability to foster and exercise public service. The decision to run for any particular public office must be based upon where one may best contribute to their community as an effective public servant. I've been much honored and extremely pleased to have received continued support, continue as the role of mayor in the village of Mamaroneck. I've also been contacted by numerous individuals and political entities to consider a campaign for the Westchester County Board of Legislators' 7th District. Certainly a difficult choice, and one which I decide where I may most be effective to serve my community. I am announcing this morning I have chosen to seek the nomination of various political parties for the county legislative seat for the 7th District. Read faster because it's raining. My decision is heavily weighed on three main objectives. Among those many questions before the County Board of Legislators, those being, first, continued support of the Army Corps of Engineers flood mitigation project, which requires in part the county's contribution of their share of the $86 million project. Second, the expansion of the Village of Mamaroneck's legislative ban and sale of commercially bred cats and dogs on a countywide basis. My top priority is the coordinated local and countywide need to address the drug epidemic. This is a threat to the future of all, with particular impact on children, young adults, and senior citizens who fall prey to this insidious epidemic. I look forward to expanding the Mayor's Drug Culture Committee and working with the Westchester County Department of Community Mental Health Commissioner Mark Hersig and other elected officials such as State Senator Terrence Murphy and his leadership in the fiscal year 2018 New York State budget that builds on this progress by investing over $200 million to support prevention, treatment and recovery programs that are targeted towards chemical dependency, residential service opportunities, and public awareness and education activities. I emphasize my seeking the endorsement of various political parties is not to run against any particular individual, but rather to simply the office of County Legislator for the 7th District and seek to serve all residents, business, and visitors in the district's South Shore communities with public service, not politics. Thank you very much, and I look forward to a campaign. Today I've actually announced officially my intention to seek the nomination for the position of County Legislator for the 7th District. I will be seeking, obviously, all available political parties that are out there, which would be the Republican Party, the Conservative Party, the Independence Party, and any other party that's out there. My basic philosophy is to represent everybody. I am a non-affiliated registered voter, and my history proves that in a community such as the Village of Mamaroneck, where it's Democrat to Republican 3-1, Lou Santor and myself have continuously been elected because of that very concept that we do represent everybody, regardless of political parties. And that's the purpose of public service, not politics.